Step into the Fieldhouse, your front row seat to legendary victories and untold stories. Hey, I'm your host, Lance Lunner, breaking down sports from the inside out, along with co-host Jimmy Lackey. It's more than just a game. It's the Fieldhouse Podcast. Welcome into the Fieldhouse Podcast. I'm Lance Lunner, your host today. Jimmy Lackey is enjoying some much-deserved vacation time. I just want to remind you this is a production of the Kids Inc. Sports Network. We're so happy to do this. If you have ideas on guests you would like us to have or anything, we would love to hear from you. We appreciate you listening in, viewing in, whatever you want to call it. But we've had a lot of fun doing this and a lot of good reaction too. So I can't thank you enough. And we got a great guest today. Played his high school ball right here in Amarillo at Cap Rock. Remember those days?
Yeah, I remember those decades ago.
He was also a college baseball player. He won't brag on that, but I will. He and his wife raised their family here in Amarillo. And then since 2021, he's been the director of programs here at Kids Inc. So let's welcome into the Fieldhouse Podcast, Jerry Branch. Everybody knows Jerry. Hey, this is since I'm soloing today, you know what question I'm going to ask you? What's the best thing that happened to Jerry Branch today?
Oh, man. Today. At my age, it's waking up, but probably just coming in and seeing all the staff ready to go and having some slow time right now, but just getting everybody registered. But the best thing happened today was just another day up on this earth.
I love that. When you say staff, a lot of people don't realize Kids Inc. is quite an operation. It takes a lot of worker bees to get this thing going the way you guys do it. So I would think they'd be surprised how much staff you have.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's just like a production line. I mean, we have much experience in this place. I mean, I definitely just don't want to mess it up because everybody has their specialties and
yeah. From
marketing to customer reps to dealing with parents and forming teams. I mean, it is a smooth operation. And we do have – it's busy. Everybody, I don't think people realize the magnitude of what our staff does.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it touches all areas of Amarillo. That's the coolest thing, in my opinion, bragging on Kids Inc., as I don't mind doing. But, hey, you played Kids Inc. growing up. What's your first memory of being out there, putting on that T-shirt, the logo and all that, and playing with your buddies?
Well, I can remember you would know Colin Donovan and Billy Donovan and all those guys. We had a T-ball team when we were about 5 years old.
Okay.
And I was looking at that old picture a couple of days ago.
Is that right? You have the photo.
We have the photo of us sitting around and us athletes, we were wearing jeans and tennis shoes. I'm like, man, we weren't dressed for the
occasion. It's the way you played ball. You
yeah,
played in jeans
then,
and even Little League baseball sometimes.
Yeah, it was
you
fun
opted
time.
For jeans.
Sunrise and Humphreys Holland T-ball team.
How did that impact you as a little guy? You know what I mean? Would you wake up, hey, it's game day, practice all day before you went out there, things like that? We were so excited to get a chance to play a game.
Oh, yeah, because, we were playing at the park anyway. I mean, we were having pickup games, and we were outside playing ball, either street football or throwing the ball around, baseball or basketball at the dunk ball courts. So, waking up to actually have a game with shirts and a coach and everything, that was good times.
And then you also coached Kids Inc. How did that experience impact you, Jerry?
Well, growing up, my dad coached a lot, and then my dad ended up being the roundup coordinator for Kids Inc. At Sunrise and Humphreys Holland for years and years. Me and Jimmy were looking at a picture of my dad and one of his teams in the red roundup jacket. So, so that's really influenced me. And, Kids Inc. was really the only game in town. You didn't have the club. You played whatever sport was in that season. If you played football in the fall, basketball in basketball. Now the kids, they play baseball year-round, basketball year-round. So, great memories. And then, I went away to play baseball. Then when I got back to Amarillo, I started coaching a little bit Kids Inc. football. And then I became the roundup coordinator for Lawndale area before they went to us forming the teams.
Oh, my gosh.
So, Kids Inc.
You have quite a history in Kids Inc.
Oh,
and that's what I wanted to ask you, Jerry. You have a unique perspective playing it, coaching it, a roundup guy. And now the director of programs. So at its core, you know what I mean? What do you think Kids Inc. does for Amarillo?
I think it gives all the kids a place to make new friends and to play a sport. I mean, because once we get to 6th, 7th, 8th grade in Kids Inc., that might be the last time they step on a court, might be the last time they step on the field. And don't get me wrong, we have a lot of athletes that end up great athletes out of Kids Inc. We have some really competitive teams in our leagues. We have some great players that are kind of maybe not go unseen and don't get with the clubs, but I just think it's just a great opportunity for kids to have a place to meet new friends, be active and something like that. And because there's not a lot of towns wish they had what we have. We have people reaching out all the time. How do we do this? And
how do you do it?
Man, it's like I said, a team.
Yeah.
18,000 kids we went through our doors in 2023. That's the last yearly number we have.
18,000.
18,600 some odd kids, and then 21 sports. So there's something for everyone.
And it's not one area. I mentioned that earlier. Aren't you guys proud of that as well? I mean, you're going to touch all walks of life and then all areas of Amarillo. This isn't limited to, hey, I can afford the best cleats, the best bat, the best, volleyball camps. This isn't what this is about.
Right. We're going to provide a practice times for the kids and coaches. And that's one thing. People don't realize the amount of volunteers it takes to do this.
Yeah.
With the amount of teams we had over 4,000 volunteer coaches. In 2023.
Really?
Assistants, volunteers, some
4,
type of volunteers, 4,000.
That is awesome. Yeah.
So it's
I wouldn't have guessed that high.
Yeah, so we're going to give them opportunity to go practice. They're going to have their shirt on game day. They're going to be able to play with referees, most sports. And plus, you might not like basketball, but we're going to have T-ball. We're going to have coach pitch. We're going to have esports. We have great partnerships with tennis.
You ventured into hockey, ice hockey even?
We're in our second session starting Saturday in hockey. There's 50 kids signed up.
That's awesome.
In the first session, 50 kids signed up. So, yeah, we're reaching a lot of lives out there, and a lot of kids, they find their niche, through Kids Inc. I think that helps a lot with the later on, and if they want to continue sports, whatever, they find their niche,
As director, what, programs, tell our viewers, listeners, however you're watching this today, what do you do? I mean, what do you do?
Man, it's a facilitator. Let's say we're going to form. We're going to help with schedules. We're going to get game locations. We're going to set gyms because we work with AISD with all our gyms. We're going to set football fields. We're going to work with the city of Amarillo to get football fields painted, soccer fields painted, soccer goals to the fields. Parents, Monday mornings are interesting sometimes for the amount of people we service. Complaints and all that are very minimal. So we're
you deal with
parents,
coaches,
coaches meetings, dealing with coaches, parents.
Did you know it until
referees.
All this when you took the job?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And the previous director of programs, we've been friends for 30 years. So me and Kim go way back. And like I said, I've been involved with Kids Inc. forever. Yes.
Yeah.
And so I knew exactly what it was. It's up my alley. That's always been my thing was customer service, and my corporate business I was in at before, it was dealing with customers, and so parents are our customer and coaches. So
do you miss that life at all?
Not at all, man.
Awesome.
Kids Inc.'s a dream job. Kids in sports, and working with great people.
Hey, you mentioned awesome. It officials, and I really wanted to ask this question to you today about, it's your kids, so you're emotional. Parents get emotional. And these officials are just doing the best they can. But can you tell us, how would you like people to act at a Kids Inc. event?
I would
say, because there's going to be a rough call or something that doesn't go your way. And there's going to be one that maybe you benefited from as well.
Sure. So what I ask of most parents in our coaches meeting, parents meeting, man, give a 24-hour cool down period. Let's not have incidents at the location. Obviously, if it's a rule question, we'll talk about that all day long.
Okay.
Yeah. Because we do want to follow the rules. Now, we do have some turnover on refs just because kids move on to college. We have a lot of athletes. We have adults that maybe move on to a different job and they can't ref anymore. All I ask is give a little grace because refereeing is a shortages, but we've been pretty blessed having some refs. We have some great high school athletes that referee for us, but it is tougher to ref, right? You get out there and you're the center of attention. It's a little different. So I'll ask of parents and coaches, show a little grace. Let's take a 24-hour period. Then we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it, and we're going to try to come to the best resolution that helps moving forward. We don't want to cause incident stuff at the location.
In general, they're really good about that too, but you always have that live kind of that guy that goes rogue or that lady who goes rogue. Would you suggest the other parents to rein them in an ideal situation or just let it play out? What's your thought on that? Well, if you're offended by it, like if I'm one of the other parents who's saying, I don't like it either.
Yeah, at the end of the day, the coaches are responsible for the code of conduct.
Okay.
By their parents, by their fans, everything. Now, we don't expect them to be security guards and be out there,
cuff them or anything.
But obviously, we never want this to happen. But if a coach cannot follow the code of conduct, they're not doing what what we want to happen with Kids Inc. and make it the best, just the best quality time for these kids, then maybe it's not for them. But hopefully that doesn't happen too often. We've had a few occasions, but like I said, the magnitude of who we see and come through our doors, it's very minimal. But it is something.
And you have some stalwart, volunteers, who just love doing it. Even after their kids got out of the game, they continue to do it. What do you find about those people? What's up with those guys?
Man, I just think they have a give back mentality. I mean, we have people that literally will coach every sport for every year, and they don't have a kid on the team. Them are the people that I'm just like, wow. But, they have a give back mentality. You want to help the kids out. And I think parents, into the long run, you'll have parents calling in, okay, we want to play basketball again, but we want to be with Coach Smith.
Yeah.
Because they've had a good – and we're going to allow that because we're not never – if they've got good a really good relationship, we don't want to do anything to break that. We want the kids, hey, they're comfortable with this coach. We want to continue that. Yeah.
Hey, you're listening to the Fieldhouse Podcast. We got Jerry Branch here, Director of Programs. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back. We're going to ask Jerry a couple of things, but also the big fall schedule's coming up. We want to talk about that. And then everybody – Rockrose, does that ring in your ears every day?
Yeah, it's an exciting time. I mean, being a lifelong Amarillo resident, besides a few years gone, it's exciting. Yeah, and I know I get asked about it at least twice a day.
That's what I meant. So I didn't want to be that guy, but I've got to be that guy today, and we'll talk about that. I'm just curious what's most rewarding about your day to day here. Because you wouldn't keep doing this if it wasn't your passion. So we'll ask Jerry about that. So stick with us. It's the Fieldhouse Podcast, and we're having a great time here today talking to Jerry Branch.
Let me guess, your kids want to play sports and you want to find them a great team to be on? Well then come on, Kids Inc. is registering for fall sports right now. Woohoo! But seriously, we've got tackle and flag football, cheerleading, volleyball, outdoor soccer. That's a lot of options. Check out our new website to register your kids to play, learn, and grow this fall season at Kids Inc. That's www.kidsinc.org.
Hey, welcome back into the Fieldhouse Podcast. I'm your host today, Lance Launert. We want to wish Jimmy Lackey enjoying some off time. Jimmy's your guy, man. He's the CEO, and I'm putting you on the spot right now, Jerry. If you don't mind, what's he like as a leader?
Oh man, I mean, he's not going to helicopter you. He's going to let you do your job, and we're always going to keep him in the mix. Like if it's something that, hey, Jimmy needs to know this, he does, but he lets us do our job. He gives us everything's first class around here. He's going to give you the best tools to do your job. He's going to support you. And he allows you to do what you're good at.
Do you think Kids Inc. Under his tutelage, is that the reason it has done so well, continuing what was started, all the way back, way back into the 40s, with Cal Farley and all that stuff?
Oh, 100%. I mean, it's come so long. I mean, I can remember going to visit the old building over there.
Yeah.
From the board, who's real supportive, to Jimmy, to Craig, who, man, handles things like the business part, like the maintenance part, and just everything.
Yeah.
I mean, Tasha forming teams, all the customer service reps up there, the marketing team. I mean, it all comes from Jimmy, and he allows all them to do their job, and man, they're experts at it. So
yeah, there's some talent here. I think it's underrated, but I find a leader like Jimmy, just in the meetings, being on the board myself, let's come full honesty here, but it's one of the easiest boards to be on because he makes it that way, just how he involves you.
And I would say, too, it's all, you can be the greatest businessman in the world and make your business great, but you really have to care about
he actually cares
about the staff, about the kids, about the coaches.
I chuckle at that.
We might have a coach that maybe over the line, maybe inappropriate, but Jimmy still cares about his feelings, still cares about let's do right by this, and and so it's like I said, the whole staff. The first thing is for our parents, our kids, and our coaches.
Yeah, no, I mean I laugh at that because leaders I've learned. You can have a Duke degree, you can have whatever you want, the highest degrees you can get. But if you don't have a little passion and love for people, you're a clanging bell, man.
Yep.
I don't. It's just you're good at what you do, but not really.
Right.
In the scheme of things.
Great bosses are
they're few and far between, though.
Right.
Yeah, once you find one, that's why you work here.
Right.
Yeah. Speaking of that, Rockrose Park, we laughed about it, but you hear those words every day of your life for the last 2.5 years probably. But how's the project going? And it is a game changer. I know that's a cliche, game changer, but it really is for the city of Amarillo and all these kids we've been talking about, these 18,000 kids who are going to benefit from it.
Yeah, and the 18,000 plus, all the other organizations that'll benefit from it. Now, Jimmy's the expert at all this.
Yeah,
but we are getting really close to this. I think there's some talk about maybe September being groundbreaking if everything goes great. But obviously, it's going to be – you're going to have so many people outside the area coming in here because people will drive to Albuquerque to play a soccer league for 2 games. Well, you know that.
Yeah.
And so they – imagine if we're right here in Amarillo, which is center of a lot of major areas, if we have a softball tournament, baseball tournament, soccer tournaments. So it's long needed. It's really kind of silly, is probably not the word, but it's silly that Amarillo doesn't have anything like that. And I think Jimmy taking the lead on this and getting this formed and all the great people that are involved and the donations, and it's just it's a dream come true for sports people in Amarillo.
Yeah, turf
and
fields, Jerry, turf fields. Tell us a little about what the experience will be for a youngster that gets to play on that.
Well, it's going to be perfect conditions. On turf, and you don't have to. Let's say you got a game on Tuesday afternoon, and it's a Kids Inc. game. It rains at 4:00.
Yeah.
Nowadays, we do play some turf on some t-ball stuff, but if we're on grass or something, that game's done. We had a soccer game this year. It rained all night, and the game was done. There's no way we can do it. But on these fields, you can have a tournament and promise teams, hey, you come in on Friday, you're not going to get rained out for the weekend, which happens a lot.
Yeah.
They can come in knowing, hey, we're going to get this played. It can snow, and that turf will be melted off in a couple hours. So it's a game changer.
Yeah, the parking's going to be amazing. They're really due diligent on that as well. Just going to be a great thing. I will say this though, man. As a little kid, I loved playing in the mud when it was a little muddy.
The football mud.
Mud. And the baseball wasn't so good, but
it wasn't so good when you're getting sacked every play.
Yeah. But that's going to be an amazing project, and it could break soon. One thing Jimmy is doing, full disclosure here, is pretty much raising all the money, himself, rather than have the city involved. So there's not a lot of. Once decisions are made, they're made. You're not having to go to 4 or 5 different things. Right. Nothing against the city doing that, but I'm just saying the process.
Yeah, it's going to be nice.
Will be right here.
And then those businesses are going to be popping up all over the place out there. So it's going to
change that area for us big time. Yeah. Hey, a couple more here. Fall is just around the corner. Obviously, we've got to get through the heat of July and August, but that means school's starting, and that means fall schedules for Kids Inc. How's that go? And if somebody's out there listening, hey, I want my kid to get involved, what do they do?
So registration's going on right now. You can get online. Okay. If you want to come into the office, we can get you set up here too. But online, you can register. We have tackle football registering, flag football registering, first session of volleyball, outdoor soccer, and cheerleading right now. So, man, there's something for everyone. Just come get in, get registered. We can get you on a team. Get you with the coach. And we have the seasons don't start till September 6th for volleyball, September 7th for the other sports. So you have some time. Let's get in here. Tackle football equipment checkout is August 19th. Sorry.
17th.
August 17th. Yeah. And 900 helmets, pretty brand new, ready to go. So we'll get that tackle football equipment checked out. So we have a lot of time to get signed up, but let's get them in here as soon as possible so we can get you on a team as soon as possible, and you can start practicing when it's allowed and get going.
And if they're kind of new into town, can they just come down and sign up, and you'll get them on a team where they might not already have an organized place to do this?
We'll try to get them in the area where they live.
Okay,
if they haven't been on a team before, we'll get them on the area where they live, and then we'll start asking for coaches. And tackle football, you'll have coaches left and right, but some of the sports, it'll be a slow process, but we'll find coaches for everyone, and then get them in the area they play, and we'll get them placed pretty much one way or the other.
Yeah, okay. I've got to ask you this. Your heart and soul's into this now. You wouldn't have – once you jump into it, you're just trying to survive. You know what I mean? Let's face all the new stuff. Let's get real. But now you're entrenched. You know what You enjoy it. You know what you're doing. So I don't want to speak for you, but if you had to nail it down, what's most rewarding for you day in day and day out here?
I like it when I'm out in the public and I have people that know I'm affiliated with Kids Inc. now, and just all the things that we do and when they give you hey, that's great, man. My kids love this. And
yeah.
Because that overwhelms any of the other stuff. The large majority that come up to you and they love it and they have a great experience. I mean, that's the most rewarding thing. And to be affiliated with Kids Inc. is the most. It's just. Yeah. It's amazing that I'm part of this organization after being around it for 35, 40 years.
I love that. And most people here, and I don't want to speak for them, but they don't mind being out in the public. A lot of jobs you kind of hide from that. Like, I don't want to deal with the public at all. That's what you guys do best. That's what you have to do.
Yeah, definitely being the program director, I'm out there a lot, the gyms and everything. So it's I know a ton of people. Yeah, they're going to – and we get I even see a lot of times I'll get tagged on pages on Facebook and stuff, and they're discussing Kids Inc. and Jerry Branch, and I'm just like, so,
yeah. I don't.
But no, it's rewarding to be involved in part of this organization.
Yeah.
It's really a blessing. And
bottom line is, the interest is all about the kids.
That's right.
It's not about Jimmy. It's not about you. It's about the kids.
That's right.
Yeah, and I think that's what's best about it. So, hey, I do a little radio show each day. And we do a Furious 4. Are you ready for it?
Yes, sir. I think we've done this about a year ago, but it's been a while.
I've changed a couple of them. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Big dogs or little dogs?
Big dogs.
What?
Man dogs.
Hey, I gotta disagree now. I have a little guy named Teddy Ballgame.
That's a great name.
I'm a little dog guy now. All of a sudden,
that's named after a Red Sox player. He's probably the best dog ever.
Teddy, yeah, you're a Red Sox fan. You got some weird affiliations, man, for growing up in Amarillo. But phone calls or text messages when you're just dealing with people.
Man, I'm old school. I like a phone call, like if it's something, because text messages and email can kind of come off. I mean, if it's something that's really we need to discuss, I prefer phone calls. But text message, if it's just like a, hey, I'll be right there.
Yeah.
But phone calls for sure, if it's something legitimately like we need to talk about.
Yeah, I'm old school with you on that one as well. Okay. So you have the scoop. The world's ending tomorrow, okay? You have your final meal tonight. What is Jerry Branch going to eat for his final meal?
Oh, man. I'm going to be simple here. Enchilada casserole from the wife.
Okay.
I know.
All right.
That's easy.
Shout out to your wife's cooking right there. Yeah. And on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the best, how good are you at keeping a secret?
Oh, man. I'm going to say about a 8.
Okay.
Because
that's not bad.
If it's affecting someone's lives and, like, it can be really, like, not
that's
good.
Pretty heavy.
I'm going to probably –
be a 10.
But if it's a friend, like just tell me something that's going on in their lives, I'm definitely going to keep that secret. So I'd say about 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Yeah, I like it. Don't tell me anything. I'm about a 2. Now, if it's life or death or if it's a friend thing, I'm a lock 10.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not
100%. Yeah,
I'm not letting it out. So, hey, thanks a lot for joining us today. Really great information. Congratulations on you taking this job and then running with it. I know. I just know how happy you are about doing this, and it's not easy.
No, and I appreciate you having me on. It's always fun to talk to you about sports and everything else, and so thanks for having me on, and keep on doing these great podcasts.
That's where Jimmy usually sits, so you filled in well.
A big shoes to fill right there.
Exactly. Hey, let's hop out of here. Thank you for joining us on the Fieldhouse Podcast. Remember, this is a production of the Kids Inc. Sports Network, and we shall see you soon.